Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, our listeners. We are so excited to have you here. This is our premiere episode of the Unfiltered Journeys, and we are going to be hosting various people. So for you to join us on our show or to support us in any way, feel free to contact us at the number below, but as well you can use 0701-233-689 and also interact with us on all our social media platforms at Unfiltered Journeys. We rely on your feedback, by the way, so make sure you leave a comment and then we will get back to you. And on our premiere episode, we are hosting the best of the best. Jamani, drum rolls, tumewaleta watu wazuri, watu mtafurahia kusikiza. So with us today, we have Brian Onjula Oyoo. Most of you know him as Brian Jailas, and also the most faithful SDA man. So we are going to be hosting Brian Jailas today, and he's going to be sharing with us about his life, and also we are going to be talking about life lessons he has been collecting in his 20s. So join us, sit back. So you all might not be aware, but Brian Oyoo is a mental health survivor. So while he's here on the show, he's going to be telling us about his life story. And also, recently, he celebrated his birthday. So we thought, why not let him tell us about his lessons that he learned when he was in his 20s. Mambo na ejake ataona kata tuambia. But we are glad to be having Brian Oyoo on the show. Welcome, Brian. How are you?
I'm very fine.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very fine.
Karibu sana to Unfiltered Journeys.
Asante sana.
We are glad to have you.
Thank you.
You are our first guest katika show yetu.
What a luck.
Tunakurigad hivi huku juu.
Unadhani kupata mtu kama mimi as the first guest is how lucky are you?
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much.
Asante sana. Leo nimekuleta hapa. I want us to have a very simple conversation, right? I learned somewhere that you're a mental health survivor, so I wanted to look into that as well, and also to get to learn what have you learned in your 20s while you were in your 20s, the lessons that you picked along the way. But before we get into that, I'll let you introduce yourself, say who you are, what you do, what you might like the audience to know about you.
Okay, first of all, thank you for bringing me as the first guest in your podcast. Yeah. My name, you have already said my name. Yeah, I'm Brian Onjula Oyoo. Those are my real names, the ID names. Yeah. So first of all, many of the people have been nicknamed a lot of names. When I was in primary school, they used to call me Yobra. Yeah. When I went to high school, it matured again to Jalas. Maybe some of the people thought that I was a funny guy. So those were the days that Jalas, the
comedian,
the current Langata MP, yeah, he was at his prime at those times. Yeah, so when I was in high school, those are the times that he was in his prime. So they nicknamed me Jalas. Yeah, so many people used to call me Jalas, but Jalas is not my real name. No, when I graduated to university, another level, yeah. No, I got another new name, yeah. People call me Onjula, but Onjula is my name.
So you have a name for every stage of your life?
Every stage of my life, yeah.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. So I studied at JKUAT, yeah. So I'm a professional accountant. I studied Bivon and I specialized in accounts. Yeah, so most people, they just associate me with singing, but I also studied on the other side of the life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people know you as an artist, probably a singer, a comedian.
Yeah.
Probably they don't know what you do, but I'm glad you've said what you do right now. Any other interests that you pursue?
Yeah, apart from that one, I've done a lot of, I mixed my accounting life with a lot of other studies, yeah. I did procurement along the way. I did one or two accounting professions in the way. So, yeah, just studies.
Oh well. So can you give us a brief history, a little bit about your upbringing, the kind of family you come from? How life was for you?
Okay, I want to say that my life was very bad, yeah, because I was my parents were well off by that time because they were both working. My dad was
I'm glad that you actually acknowledge that.
Yeah.
You know, most people tend to be like, oh, I came from a humble background, blah, 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 which is not necessarily the case.
yeah, but mine was also humble.
But your parents were well off.
But my parents were okay because they were at that time they were both working until bomb blast 98 when my mom resigned from work. So she decided to go back at home so that she can become an housewife. Yeah. But
How old were you then? Too young.
I was not very young, but I was young. Yeah?
Okay.
So my dad was the one who was going on with the job because he was a government employee at that time. So the upbringing was okay. Yeah, I went to private school from my childhood to up to university level. So I won't say that it was very rough, but it was okay.
It's good that you acknowledge your parents' efforts in trying to give you the best that they could give you. Yeah. So where were you in high school? Campus you were in quite.
Yeah.
High school?
I went to 4 schools in high school.
Why?
Each form with its own school. Yeah. You know, during our days, it happened that there was a lot of things that was happening at that time. Yeah. You know me, I'm a millennial. I'm not a Gen Z, but during
I'm a Gen Z myself.
We had a lot of things happening by that time because when I was in Form 1, I was taken to a school that I did not like. Now when I was going to Form 2, I requested to be transferred to another good school. Now my dad, because he was also close to us, used to understand us each and every time, so he decided to transfer me. So when I was in Form 3, then there was post-election violence.
Okay.
And I could not travel to the other side of the town because I was in Central. And because my tribe is in the other side, there was some difficulty in traveling. So I had to transfer again to Nairobi. Now in Form 4. And then there was another issue that the strike each and every school was striking each and every time. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was up and down.
You know, the moment you mentioned you went to 4 different schools, the first assumption, please forgive me, on top of my head was indiscipline.
Yeah,
because I was like, why on earth will you be moving from one school to the next? The first assumption that you make is indiscipline. But when you look at it, we had a lot of things happening, especially even with the post-election violence. I think it's a lot. Yeah. So Brian, while I was going through what you've done, what you've been able to survive in this life, I came across something that said, there's a time you were in a depression state, and I really wanted to get into it, to get to know what led to it, what happened, what was happening around that time, how were you able to get out of it? Because as we are speaking right now, we have a lot of people battling with mental health issues. In one time or another, unapatanga, there's a time you sink so deep, you don't know how to get out, and you don't know who to turn to. But maybe if someone listens to you, they can pick 1 or 2 things that will help them get out of the situation they are in currently. So can you tell me a little bit about what happened?
So what happened is this. When I graduated in 2015 from JKUAT, I was among the lucky people because I did not tarmac. Yeah, I just came from campus and I stayed home for just a week, and then the other week I was called for an interview. And luckily, on the other following week, that means I was just home for 2 weeks. I landed a job at the National Bank of Kenya.
Hey, that's favor.
Yeah, it was a great favor. So I stayed for almost 2 years, from 2015 to around 2017. Yeah?
Okay.
And everything was smooth in the bank because each and every year you could see at least there was a promotion in your job area and everything was going on well. Then on 2018, around June, then there was a change of the management in the bank. Yeah. And during that time, there was a lot of things that was going on also. Yeah. So during the change of the management, I was taken to a very different department.
Okay.
And in that department, I started realizing there were some issues, because each and every time there were like the new management was coming with the people they want to employ. You see, the current people who are there.
New management, new roles,
yeah, you had to be sacrificed. So most of us were sacrificed from work so that we cannot proceed.
So they laid you off.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But I was lucky enough also to land another new contract, but in a very different environment from the one that I had at that time.
Okay.
So during that time, I opted to quit.
Why?
Because I'm not used to what do the marketers do? They convince people, yeah. I'm not used to convincing people to do something for something, so that I can meet my ends. So I just decided to quit because I thought it was stressing me at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you choose your mental health first.
Yeah. So after I quit,
your character near Gen Zs.
Yeah. So immediately after I quit, the following year, that was 2019, there was COVID. That's why you call it COVID-19, I think.
Yeah, it started end of 2019, heading to 2020.
So during COVID-19, now there was another rule that we should all leave the workplace. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you were forced to quit. Yeah. Because I was given like 6 months to rethink of my decision. Now when you are told to go home, now it hit me that no, I don't have.
I'm jobless.
I'm jobless. Yeah. And it's a situation that I've never been.
Yeah. Considering that you got into work immediately after school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after during the COVID, me, I'm a social person, and many social people are the people who are suffering mostly. Because you get to know this person, you understand his problems, but no one understands your own problems now.
Is it that people don't understand your problems, or it's more of if you are a very social person, they tend to mask whatever is going on with their lives with the extrovertedness that they exude out here?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So now being an outgoing person, it really affected me because at some point I could just sit alone and I could feel like the energy that I was giving to the people, it was not being reciprocated back to me. Yeah. So it started hitting me now that
in terms of you felt like you were giving and not getting back.
Yeah.
So you were drained.
No, not even like that. No, during my working era, I thought I was giving too much to people, but now this is the time that I required most of the people to at least listen.
To come back.
Yeah. But there was no one.
And be around.
Yeah. So I felt like the family had divorced me. I felt like my friends have divorced me. I felt like my colleagues have left me. Yeah. That's how I started developing some mental issues. Yeah. At that time.
So when did it dawn on you that you have sunk really deep into this and you need help?
One day I went up country and I was with my grandmother. And I decided not to put on my phone, so that I can see who will be calling me. So I stayed there for almost 2 days and there was no call which was coming. Yeah.
Ooh.
So when I was at home now, it now dawned to my eyes that you see these things.
You are on your own.
I'm on my own, yeah. I started developing some issues. I was stressed, Yeah. Most of the habits now started to. It was a tough battle.
When we are talking about the habits, can we be a little bit more specific? What kind of habits?
I won't say on the camera, but there are some, yeah.
Wakristo watakujudge.
Watanijudge at some point, yeah. Because I was also thinking of doing some great some stupid stuff. I wanted to go to drugs, but
you
at
didn't.
Some point, I didn't.
You must be a very strong person.
I did not go.
Because reflecting on my own experiences while I was in campus, anytime I would be stressed, drugs were my option out. Like I would take too much alcohol. I think it got to a point I was like, it's like I'm not functioning on a daily basis without alcohol. And that's when I realized there's a problem and I need to get out of it. So for you, I think you were really strong if you had that option but you didn't pursue it.
I did not pursue it. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was almost thinking of going to that direction because even the environment that I was having at that time,
The friends.
all of them were taking drugs. If it's not bang, it is the alcohol. Yeah. So I thought of it, but I'm glad I did not go to that direction. Yeah.
So how did you get out of it?
Yeah, it took
Now
me
you've
some time.
realized there's a problem.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
There is a time I came back home, and I was talking to my mom. I don't know, my mom, their generation is very different from our generation. That they believed that if you are not working, then you must be a very lazy person, or you are not doing much for yourself.
You're not putting in the effort
that is required. So one day I just decided and told her that, mom, I want to do something different. And she asked me what. And I told her, I want to sing. Yeah. And she really laughed. Because, for a graduate and you're thinking of something very weird, yeah? It's very fun, yeah? So after some time, she told me, you know what you can do? You go and look for a group that you can maybe register so that you can at least start going to the evening practices so that you can at least ease your brain. And I was lucky at that time, yeah. I was taken to start singing with another group in town. We were singing around KPLC there. And she used to sponsor me fare. So each and every day I was going there, me, I always network a lot with a lot of people. And during my time there, I was also lucky to get someone who got me a contract again to go back to work. Yeah.
So one thing I am picking from what you're saying, it's very important when people notice you are in a crisis, they do whatever they can do to support you. So for your mother, she felt the much I can do, I can't really solve your problems, but I can give you fare to pursue whatever you want to pursue if it will help you, is down. And again, I am picking that when we are out here in this state, things are not working out. It's still important for us to continue networking. You never know who your destiny helper is and where your help is going to come from. Okay,
So networking is one of the best things that I learned at that time. And it really helped me to survive my mental illness. Each and every time you can socialize with someone, get something, learn it, because each and every day is a learning process. Yeah. So you learn a lot of things when you network with a lot of people.
So when you started the new job after getting the new contract, everything is down?
At least. Not very much, but it reduced a lot. Because each and every time when I was working, I was like, where I've come from is very far from where I'm going. Yeah. That was it.
So for you, there was no option like, let's try therapy?
No, I did not go to any therapy sessions.
None. So you just pursued music, and the moment you got a job, things started flowing.
And during the COVID time, that was when even the Musani music group was formed.
Yeah. And
even if you listen to most of the stories, most of them even were worse than me at that time. Because most of them lost their job there. And when we came together, it was also a joint team. We were doing very different things because we want to overcome something. It was a healing process in itself. Yeah.
It was more of just, the way people go to Alcoholic Anonymous. Hi, I'm Brian Wenjula. Is this a safe space? It is a safe space, right? And I want to sing, and I have depression. That's it. Okay. So again, if you pursue things that you love, things become easier. Thank you so much. Thank you so much about that bit about mental health. I always feel like we really don't say much about it in terms of, I look at it from two different perspectives. The male gender, most times don't really share much about whatever is happening to them, if they are getting into depression. And I remember a while back when this guy, Kasmal Makure, said he was depressed at some time, people started bashing him. We feel like men aren't supposed to go through that. We feel like they're supposed to be strong, and we really shut them down. And also there's another aspect of, I'll talk about it in terms of religion. We are in the church, in the SDA community. So probably most times we don't really talk about what is happening to our youths in the church. Our youths are jobless and they are depressed, and most of them are not functioning normally. Okay, so I am looking at it from 3 different perspectives, and I'm thinking a lot could be done. A lot could be done in terms of the church could engage, and also we are trying to create a safe space whereby every person will feel free to come and share, okay, I'm going through this, I need this kind of help. If we do this, I think I'll be in a better position. And I think that's why I really love your story so much, because I know people see you out here so much, and they're so like, Brian anakwanga msanii, Brian msanii anakwanga tu hapa making jokes, funny posts online, and people think everything is okay. People assume everything is okay. They think you are immune to these things. But the thing is, no one is immune.
No one is immune.
No one is immune. Even the happiest of people could be going through things. Thank you so much for that mental health bit. So we'll take a short break and then get back into talking about the life lessons you learned in your 20s, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So Brian, you have frequently declared yourself to be the most faithful SDA man. Why? Why the most faithful SDA man? What do you mean by the most faithful SDA man?
Why should you not be faithful?
What do we mean by faithful here?
Okay.
Why did you choose to call yourself the most faithful SDA man?
Okay, I was scrolling through my TikTok page, and I found someone. There was someone there with a pastor in Baraton. He was saying, you know, if you are lucky to be married to an SDA guy, you'll be the most luckiest woman on earth, because the men in SDA are the faithful SDA men. Now he took that point, yeah.
So it has a whole sermon behind it.
Yeah.
I just thought it's something you came up with or something.
No.
Oh, okay. So we are getting into
me being brought up from that background, I believe I'm the faithful one.
What do faithful people do?
I don't know. Faithfulness, pure faithfulness.
Brian, define faithfulness in your own terms.
Those are spirits of what are the other spirit?
Fruits or gift. It's a fruit. It's a fruit.
Yeah, it's a fruit.
A fruit of the Holy Spirit. So you're the most faithful SDA man.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me. I'm not going to ask your age on camera. You are a young man. Young man, very young. But I would like to know, I have acquired a few lessons in my 20s. I'm not yet out of my 20s, but I have acquired a few lessons in my 20s, and I know you have done so as well. So I want you to share with me some of the lessons that you've learned in your 20s. I'll share mine with you. We'll compare and check notes.
That's 2 things. I don't have much to say. Number 1, be real.
Be real. What about being real?
Being real is ni kama yani kuishi maisha yako. Just live your own life, be real. You know, in your 20s, you know, you are past the teenage life, and a lot of things still are not working for you. You know, maybe unatafuta kazi hapa, maybe you are looking for someone to date, maybe but if you are real, you are good to go. And also remember to be kind.
No, first on the being real part. So we have an incident. I was talking with a friend a few days ago, and this friend of mine was sharing an incident with someone they were interacting with, who she felt like he was leading a fake life. Fake life in terms of things I do, things I own, things I have mastered along the way. Like you are a whole sham packaged into a very nice package. You present yourself. I have a car, I work in this nice place, I have this nice house in this place. And then years or months down the line, people come to find out, aya, hii car ni ya kahaya. hii nyumba hata si kwake alikuwa anaishi, by the way, alikuwa anahostiwa ama ni Airbnb. Like everything is a whole sham. Hata hii degree anatuambianga ako nayo hana, by the way. But why do you think tunashinda tukijieka in such a way that we have to fake our lives out here? Because personally, I feel we have too much pressure in terms of we are comparing ourselves. So I'd be seated here and I'm looking at, let's say, our director here. So you're looking at Bivon and you're thinking, Bivon has achieved this and this and this, and we are around the same age. I haven't done much. I haven't achieved as much as he has. So I will come up with a scenario and create a whole life around it, just because I'm comparing myself and I don't want to feel like I am out of place. So I will come and fake everything around.
Kiswahili tunasema kuuza uoga, unauza uoga. It happens. Mimi niko na rafiki alienda mpaka akafanya harusi, a good wedding, a church wedding. And everything that was happening was fake until akapatia mpaka the lady mtoto mdogo. So the lady alikuja ku realize only after the child is almost 2 years that the guy had already married another wife somewhere in a very different city. So it happened. Kuna social media pressure. But what happens, unajua this generation tuko nayo sahi, we are living in a very worst, let me say the worst part of generation that we have, because hapa tuko na millennials, kuna wale wako mbele yetu, kuna Gen Zs, alafu kuna so unajua hapa sasa patience ndio inaongea, patience pays, because unaona the generation ahead of me walikuwa very patient, walikuwa wanafanya things according to their own pace. Do meet the end wakipata the salary ama the thing yenye unaweza fanya wa provide, inakuwa ni iko na step, iko na baby steps. Millennials wanataka kuharakisha life, because they see this guy at 50 is driving an Audi. Sasa millennials wanataka ku drive that's the same Audi at 22. So unapata. Now there is the Gen Z, you know, au sasa wako na ile social media pressure, because
unapata kuna social media,
kwa sababu amecompare na mtoto kwa Australia, anataka sasa pia the same thing that apply from Australia. It happens in Kenya. No, we are in a mixed up generation crisis as at now. So saa hii kitu unaweza ambia watu, just be real, be yourself. I know it's very hard, because especially for youths wala kwa church sana, unaona, kwa sababu unapata most of your friends you have been growing with them, maybe hao wako na tusemeaje tu, wako na like wako advantage fulani wako nayo kwa life yenye wewe huna. So they can easily pressure you to come to their side, but ukikuwa mtu mwenye unaenda tu pole pole, be real. Hiyo ndio lesson mimi naweza sema kwa hiyo 20s. Si at least umeenda kidogo, but hapo kwa 20s pressure najua ni mingi. Kuna pia pressure, kuna story ya love kwanza ndio ina mess watu wengi sana, unaona. In terms of unajua ukiwa high school unajiambia at 22 I want to marry, or at 23 I want to marry, I want to have a stable sijui nini. But no, unajua reality inaanza kukugonga after ushafika hiyo age.
Wasichana kwanza tunakwanga tumeka at 25, no, 23 we are done with school, 25 we are getting married, 27 we are getting a kid. Let me tell you, kwa ground tunaelekea that. Kwa hizo vitu zote kitu tu umeachieve ni shule.
Nothing is happening. So it happens. So your pressure yuko kwanza, hiyo ya love unajua ina affect a lot of people. Because maybe you are attached. Me kama for example unaweza pata nimedate dem kuanzia niingie campus mpaka third year. You have been very faithful. Alafu akifika third year ana realize maybe mimi kitu naweza muoffer ni I love you at night peke yake.
Una pesa bro.
There is the issue of financial issues, kuna nini. Sasa actually realize hivyo, unapata sasa kuna mtu mwingine anatoka nje anakuja na mconvince.
Lakini ukweli hatutakula mapenzi.
Na yeye pia after shako convince, yeye pia utadhani yeye maisha yake itaenda poa. Pia akifika huko mbele pia anagonga mwamba, kwa sababu anapata the same guy maybe alikuwa married somewhere. So ana feel hata eri ule bro mwenye niliwacha huko nyuma. So a lot is happening, but if you are real, just be real. Unazaenda sana. Yeah.
So for me, I think in my 20s, one thing that I learned was we are not perfect.
Yeah.
And we are supposed to have room for making mistakes.
Yeah.
So unapatanga most of the times we tend to beat ourselves down. Makosa kidogo hivi. You feel like you're the worst of persons. I mean, you are bound to make such mistakes once in a while. Utakosea hapa na pale. People will point it out. Ama we mwenyewe, you will notice. But then again, you just have to realize you can't be perfect all the time, all through, and don't expect peer perfection from other people. Nisi expect Brian akwe 100%. Hakuna mtu 100%. Tuna operate around 80. Wengine wakienda sana 90. Good for them. Ama below. But mistakes in your 20s are just mistakes. Nisema ni mistakes. Bora usiende kuzifanya huko mbele.
But inakuja na a lot of issues. Kama hiyo financial issues inakuja affect a lot of men, yeah. Unajua maybe you ladies are understanding men. Mimi nikiwa at my 20s, you know, your time, yeah. Niko na a lot of things zenye nataka unajua ukiangalia hata watu wengi my economist wengi anakuambia at least at your 20s unafaa kuwa na something stable, yeah. So your time una compete na career. Uko na girlfriend. Maybe hata kuna wale wanafika mpaka 3. Mimi siwezi judge mtu.
Mbona mko na 3 girlfriends? Watatu Brian.
Nakwambia mimi siwezi judge mtu. Ina depend kwa sababu hiyo time ndio trial and error. Things as work out. Haya, unapata maybe kuna family nyuma. Alafu pia kuna issue ya maybe your social life, maybe kama uko kwa church na spiritual life as in kama imeingia hapo. So unapata hizi vitu zote zinataka some financial
input pahali.
And you are not working at that time, makwempo wana understand. Unapata sasa inakupatia a lot of pressure. But on for ladies it's a bit easier because unajua at least anaweza fanya 1-2 vitu
1-2 ni nini Brian? Kama tuna kazi si wote hatuna kazi, si wote hatuna pesa.
But at 20s maisha bado ni ngumu inakuwa ni trial and error in every aspect. Yeah. So mimi sasa yangu ilikuwa ni smooth.
But ukiona una pesa yenyewe, stay away from dating. It's hard to date.
Kuna hiyo rule.
Why are you dating people if you have no money?
Kuna hiyo rule inasema, in fact hata ni Muhindi aliandika, alisema if you don't have money, leave girls.
Leave women alone because tumesema tena hatuwezi kula I love you.
Yeah.
Hakuna penye tutakula I love you, and pia hautaki hiyo pressure ya babe. Nataka unisaidie 3k, 5k hauna.
But ukiwacha pia hiyo stage at you leave women. Unajua mimi naona kama tulidanganywa na wahenga. Kwa sababu walikuwa wanatuambia wewe fanya wewe soma. Ukimaliza kusoma tafuta pesa watakuja. Sasa hiyo kuja watakuja lini? Kwa sababu ndio watu wamemaliza kusoma.
Unapata uko 40, unangoja wakuje.
Unapata pesa kidogo. Hiyo pesa kidogo bado hizi mleta. Kwa sababu hata akikuja kesho itakuwa.
But then again pia kuna kwangana aspect ya date within your class. Hiyo pesa yako kidogo. Kuna msichana inaweza afford. Kuna msichana inaweza afford. You don't really have to go out of the way when kutafuta msichana anataka umlipie sijui apartment wapi. Labda kuna mwenye anaweza lipia single room bed sitter ya 6k 7k mahali na mtafiti in vizuri sana. So for me na feeling ya finances, especially with relationships, for most people when it's getting too hectic, stay within your class. Stay within your class. Usiende out of the way.
But sasa ukifika kwa 30 ndio utarealize sasa unaangalia vitu in a very different way kwa sababu sasa hapo mnaangalia na if you are two people unaangalia huyu kama mwanabiashara, muangaliani kama couples.
It's a partner.
Kwa sababu unafaa yule anafanya ukiangalia demu yako unafaa unamwangalia kama mimi na grow aje. Unajua it's about how you grow. A relationship ni growth.
True.
20 za utajua ni growth. But huku juu sasa ni growth. If you are not growing hakuna kitu mnafanya.
Haiwezi kuwa vibes and inshallah all the time. You have to grow at some point. Interesting. So you were saying something about being kind.
Yeah. If you are, kindness inaweza kupeleka mbali. kindness is the, yani hiyo ndio one of the virtue yenye ukiwa nao kwa life yako, you can go very far. Never know. Why should you be arrogant? Why?
Probably upbringing, kiburi.
Na kiburi hizo tu ni story, lakini
ni vitu watu wamejiekea.
But kwa life if you are kind unaweza prosper. Hiyo ndio kitu mimi nililearn sana nikigrow, kwa sababu unajua a lot of people wale walikuwa wanaona at least wako na hiyo nini, kwa hiyo virtue kwa life yao, walikuwa na at least walikuwa wanafika place mimi sifiki. Yeah, so mimi siwezi sema mimi niko kind, but I think watu walikuwa wanafika mbali kwa sababu ya kind. Sasa kindness ndio kitu mimi naweza ambia watu kwa hiyo age, why dress kindness, preach kindness, do a lot of things concerning kindness. And you'll grow.
You'll go very far. Very far. Again, nitakurudi mongelea finances, mongelea about personality. So kwa relationships, for me, I feel like in your 20s, explore.
Yeah, explore.
Explore as much as you can.
Yeah. But do it ukijua kuna Mungu. Hawezi sema explore alafu kama wewe ati sasa uko
you're reckless.
Uko sasa na boyfriend 15.
Ni boyfriends. There's nothing much to it. They're just boyfriends.
Sasa pia wataku explore.
They are just boyfriends unless you tell me you guys are engaging in premarital sex ama hizo vitu zingine, but kama ni boyfriends go on dates.
Hata nikwambia hizo ndio vitu watu wa generation sasa hii. Unajua generation yetu bado tulikuwa na uoga. Hatuwezi ongelea some things kwa kamera
na church,
because and church pia church inakuja na aspect. So things concerning the sexual production watu najaribu kuficha,
kuzieka chini ya maji.
Yeah. But sasa mimi ufurahi kwa sababu Gen Z wamekuja wameanza kuziongelea kwa sababu it's something that ina affect mpaka hii generation inakuja. Kuna group nilikuwa nafanya nao kazi, walikuwa wanafanya a lot of sponsoring ya orphans, especially in the rural areas. Yeah? So wanakuja wana identify like if this one is an orphan wanamsponsor. But kuna time unapata maybe wamechukua age group moja yote wamesponsor. So unajua watu wakigrow pamoja, boys and girls, inafika point girls wana grow very fast. In terms of physique, in terms of intellectual, everything, they grow very fast. So unapata inakuja disturb kwa sababu unapata ile sponsoring wakifika college, most of the girls wana drop out. Ukiangalia reason ni kwa sababu most of them wako na ball, they have been impregnated. Yeah? And people wale wanapatia hiyo ball pia hawachukui responsibility. So ina affect sponsors hiyo side nyingine kwa sababu wanajiuliza kwa nini, what is happening. Sasa unaona inamaanisha hii generation ya saa hii wale walikuwa wanaogopa kuongea na wazazi wetu kwa sababu kuna difference ya generation. Guardians wao au wanaogopa kuambia guardian kuna kitu na 1 2 3 imeendelea, ndio maana nimefika kwa hiyo stage. So ikifika hata point saa hii mpate mtu mwenye anaweza ongea na the ladies about how to the sexual topics, yeah, inakuwa easier for them to be mentally prepared kwa sababu generation tunakuja next ya alpha itakuwa hata worse.
It's wise.
Yeah.
It's wise.
Yeah.
So for me I feel your exploring part ni ile ya don't be too stuck in a place. Or probably the person ulipata when you were 19 in your early 20s may not be the person you settle for. If things are not working, move. Move. Hakuna mtu amekugongelelea hapa. Move until you find something that suits you. Usibaki na kutolerate very bare minimum. Ni bare minimum na things that don't meet your qualities in terms of nikitoka kwa relation. I was talking with a friend of mine.
Excuse me, nasema nitavumilia.
I was talking to a friend of mine and he was like, you know, lile nilikuwa niacho hiyo dem kitambo, but singemwacha, saa watu wangesema, like nina datingi watu miaka 2 tunaachana, na date mtu mwingine watu watanisema sana. And I'm like, but you aren't happy. Why are you staying? Because of the society.
Hata job watu wengi wanaenda job kwa sababu mtu anaona nikiwacha maybe yeye akona unajua kuna difference ya pali utaland na pali na kitu unafanya. Your destiny is very different from what you are doing, yeah. Maybe your destiny is God alikuprepare utakuwa good business lady, yeah. But wewe umengangana tu nenda uko employed. Sasa kwa nini ungangane hapo? Kwa sababu ya society. Sasa society ndio inakuwa tumalizange na kwa gani babangu atasema nini? Marafiki zangu watanijaje nikiwacha kitu kama hiyo, unaona? But hawajui kuna destiny mahali. So inakuwa gani ni explore but una try 1 2 uwezi jua pale destiny yako inakuja kufika. Yeah. Each and every day ni kulearn tu. Hata mimi na learn as day goes, each and every day na learn something that life in school. Yeah.
As for me and my house, if things are not working, I pack and go.
Yeah.
Like akunanga kitu inaweza ni hold back. I work. By the way, they're not going to stress me out. I'm gone.
Kama sisi kama mimi yangu inakuwa ni ngumu kwa sababu sisi I have a twin brother. So mtu anaona bro wangu ako anaimba na certain group. Uimbi. Mbona nakwambia kwani uimbi na
we have different paths.
Yeah, sasa hiyo ndio kutoto understand. Everybody is destined to do everything different. Hakuna mtu ako destined kufanya the same thing.
Yeah. So probably the other lesson I learned ni you need a community.
Yeah.
Community around you. They could be friends. They could be people at church that you could lean back into when things are crashing. Just a community. Najua wengi wetu tumemake ile social media as our community. Social media is not a real place though. I think that's something people should learn. It's not a real place. The same people who love you today ndio kesho watakuchukia.
Hapo kwanza najua na mambo mingi kwa sababu mimi at some point kwa life hata nakwambia mimi nimepitia mambo mingi. Ni vitu mingi siwezi sema pia kwa kamera. But siku moja nakuja nifungue, I think ndaandika kitabu.
Naweza kusaidia.
Ndaandika kitabu yenye nda explain everything that happened kwa sababu kuna kila mbali naandika notebook, kuna kitu nimefanya. So at some point wacha nikwambie social media it can be good and it can be bad. Mimi ni fan wa social media sana. Especially the four of them. I use all of them equally. The Twitter, Instagram, Facebook na TikTok. So sai if any case kitu kufanyikia sai na when you one of the people when uko high sana kwa social media bado utakupin down, and the same people when wanakupraise sai watakuja
atakumaliza.
Yeah, it happened.
See, T is T. If we find something incriminating you in any bad way, whether tunatembea nayo vibaya sana, we will post about it everywhere.
Hata director atakwambia kwa social media unajua uongo ikisema mara tatu na kwa ukweli. As
we wind up, we're going to get one last lesson and then we'll conclude our today's episode on that note. So we're going to get the lesson from you again.
Okay. Mimi nazaambia watu being the first guest, kwanza ningetaka kuwa wish the best journey ahead of your podcast.
Shukran.
Kwa sababu one on one na watu mtajua pale mnaza get one or two ideas so that you can improve on your skills in front. Yeah. Secondly, there is no joy in being poor. Look for money. Yeah?
The enemy is poverty.
The enemy is poverty always. So any chance umepata as a youth or as but then unajua money haina timeline. Even if you are 50 years, you can still make money. So it doesn't have a timeline. And lastly, gratitude is a must.
Yeah, so vijana tujitume. Jitume itajipa. My friend Julie Rose keeps saying, jitume itajipa over and over again. Be consistent in whatever you're doing. Na pia kwa sisi wenye, a majority of us najua, maybe utapata we are engaged in the church, we are in the ministry. Let it not be our sole purpose on this earth. There's more we can do. We can pursue our goals. We can pursue our careers na to make sure tumepata iyo pesa. Pesa is the goal at the end of the day. Tumesema the enemy is poverty. This has been our premiere episode of Unfiltered Journeys. We are glad that you've listened to us, and we can't wait to host you on our show, and we can't wait to hear from you. So make sure that you're sending us your feedback. Leave us a comment on the comment section. Mtuambie what you guys want to hear. Mnataka tuwalete nani kwa show. Pia mkitaka kutusupport, kuna namba hapo chini. Mtatu support through the number. You can reach out to us through that number, and on all our social media platforms, make sure that you follow us. Until next week, adios.